Hello there, Scorpios. Welcome to your 16 tarot reading. So, one of the first messages that seeing for you is it's a good message, but there are other things that are interfering with it. Okay, so the first message is that there's a lot of love opportunities, like all around you. So this is like your power of attraction is very strong. So you're attracting all kinds of people. I want you to be careful because the kinds of people that you're attracting are not long term. They're telling me like small fish in the sea, okay, like small tiny little fishes that you're not going to be happy with long term. So you have all these abundance opportunities, especially in the love front, but be discerning about what's coming through and be discerning about what it is that you want, because I feel like they're small fry compared to something you already have. So don't be tempted, okay? Don't be tempted to stray. What I definitely feel is while you're busy with all of these fishes, I feel like for a lot of you, there might be one main person that you have your eyes on. And I feel like the feelings are being reciprocated, but you might just be, in a situation where you just want to have fun. You want to take it easy. You want things to be a little bit lighthearted. You don't want to really emotionally invest in a new relationship just yet. And that's totally fine. But I definitely feel that the other person that is in your midst, that you kind of think very highly of. It's a new person that you've never dated. I don't feel you've ever dated this person. For others of you, I'm sensing you might be in a relationship and there's somebody posing a temptation for you. And I feel like it is causing discord in the relationship. I don't feel you're physically involved with them or physically intimate with them, but I definitely see kind of like obstacles. In order for you to like be with this new person, you have to, of course, let go of the old, right? So I definitely feel like you have a new person, you have to let go of the old in order for you to pursue things with the new person. And I feel like it's hard for you to do that. So I feel like it's hard for a lot of you, mainly because you have very, very strong like physical chemistry, physical like sexual chemistry with one partner, the old partner, or the one that you're in a relationship with, or the one that you are somehow linked up with. And then the other person, there's more of an emotional connection. So that's always a dilemma for everybody. But I feel like with with Scorpios, I feel like with Scorpios, you might not be able to navigate this situation and have the outcome that you want. So it basically tells me that you're not going to be able to start anything new unless you end the old, okay? So let some things go, close some doors, and aim for more of the emotional connection, because that's where, as a water sign, that's what you really need to be happy anyways, right? So that's advice concerning, just emotional connections anyways, because I feel like ultimately that is something that you are going to need if you want to be happy, if you want a relationship to be stable, okay? So let's see what's in store for you. We have some very good cards, actually. Yeah, we have some really good cards. So for a lot of you, if you are thinking about going back to school, this is a really, really good time for you to start, sending out applications, resume, if you're looking for new jobs, and as well as taking up a course of study, okay? We have the Magician here, and the Magician here is like a skills upgrade. Somebody is already like very knowledgeable, but I definitely feel this card deals, I'm not reading the traditional Rider-Waite interpretation. I'm reading this situation as somebody who is doing some research, some digging, some looking into like to expand their financial base, okay? So it's linked up here with the Wheel of Fortune, and it's basically telling me you have a lot of opportunities coming in, and they're coming in droves. So it's really important for you to like figure out what it is that has long-term potential for you, and it's really important for you to follow your heart and pursue things that are that somehow like emotionally that resonate with you. Don't scatter your energy. You have a very, very calm and like a very systematic way of doing things. So I don't feel you are in danger of scattering your energy. What I do feel is that you might wear yourself out and you might lose a lot of sleep if you are not being deliberate with your energy. So I feel like, seeking things that you to do that brings you emotional satisfaction. And we're not talking about, like going out and just doing something that brings like instant gratification. We're talking about something that is a little bit more deliberate, that is a little bit more like long term. I feel like that's what you need to be happy, okay? So it seems to me like it's a very, very busy month this month. For a lot of you, you are going to have to like study something. I feel like this can be new procedures that are implemented in the workplace and things are being done differently. So you are going to have to review how the superiors want the things done. You might be in a position where you are disseminating information to like your employees, or you're put in center stage where you are going to have to give like some seminars, some lectures on how to do something, how to build something. So I feel like you are the magician. You are in this position where you have the knowledge and the skills, and you are disseminating the information. You're spreading information so that other people can learn from you. Okay, so both of these cards are great for like publishing a book, working on a book, publishing manuals and things like that as well. So I feel this energy coming through where you are going to be quite busy. And I feel that for a lot of you, you're doing some type of a detailed oriented work. And it's going to require a lot of like energy. So, make sure you get enough sleep so that you don't make minor mistakes. So I feel you doing something kind of it's like, I don't feel like it's data entry, but it's something that requires a lot of like synthesis of different ideas and then combining them all together. So just make sure you get everything laid out and that you get all the facts straight. So don't skimp on research, okay? Now, in terms of your overall financial situation, there's travel opportunities coming through as well as finances linked up with it, okay? So for a lot of you, for your job, you might physically that you might be in a job, excuse me, that requires a lot of physical travel. And I feel that's why it's taxing on your sleep state, okay? So it might be cutting into your sleep time because I feel like you're not getting very little sleep. And I say that mainly because, like, usually when I do a spread for Scorpio, a lot of the water energy comes out. This month, it seems like there's a lot of wands, like rods, a lot of restless energy. So I feel like you're constantly on the move. You're very dynamic, and it's hard to pinpoint, where you are. So you're darting from place to place. So I feel a lot of travel opportunities coming through for you, possibly giving seminars as well. So I feel like for a lot of you, you might be in a sales position where you have to dart from place to place in order to secure a client or a portfolio. You might be like running around the country giving seminars, and each seminars that you give, there's like money that comes as a result of it. So it's not a client based operation. It's more of like a seminar, one time thing type of operation that requires you to come through. On the other side of this Ace of Pentacles is that there is a new job opportunity as well that might require more travel from your end. It can be a little bit frustrating because I feel like, like all water signs, you're very rooted to the home environment. But I feel like out of all the water signs, you are the most I guess like you're a fixed sign, but I feel like cancers would have a really hard time traveling all the time, being on the road all the time, because they crave the comfort and the stability of a home environment. Pisces as well, but I feel for you, you crave it, but you know how to create it wherever you go. So, but either way, I do feel that there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of abundance, a lot of travel coming as a result of some work situation. Um, as a result of it, you might run into a lot of people. Okay. So there might be temptation. Okay. So if you're in a relationship and you're traveling all the time, just be mindful about that. Okay. Keep in contact with your significant other or your girlfriend, boyfriend, family members too, because I feel this energy where you're jumping around all the time and it's really hard to pinpoint you, which means that if you have a significant other waiting around at home, they might have trouble contacting you and they might grow either weary or insecure as a result. So keep that in mind, okay? These are very, very good cards, and it indicates a lot of self-discipline and a lot of financial abundance. And I feel like the financial abundance is coming through as a result of self-discipline, self-mastery. So very strong cards. And I like seeing these really directed, strong cards for Scorpio. It it's like a higher order type of cards with the Magician, the Wheel of Fortune, the Chariot, and the Ace of Pentacles. So both of these is like, well, actually, all of these cards indicate like manifesting, making your dreams come true, not only, conjuring them up, but like going out into the world and pursuing them. So I definitely feel you're operating on the higher vibration of Scorpio, which is, the phoenix rather than the initial, like the snake. So it's a really high power, high functioning, and higher vibrational energy of Scorpio. This is really good. So if that's what we're starting the month out with, so I feel like you're on the right track, okay? Now, for a lot of you, there is somebody in your midst that is potentially. So I can't really pinpoint this energy actually. I want to pull out another card because I was when it came out, I was conflicted about how it's playing out. Okay, so you're straddling between two people. You're straddling between two people. You're trying to decide. Okay. So you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is an earth sign. So this is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. This can be male or female. These are not gender specific, but I feel like I'm sensing very strongly. It could be, like a stronger male energy that are straddling, mainly because I feel that you're still trying to decide, and I feel a very strong male energy, mainly because of the major arcana cards. So regardless, I do feel that there is here an earth sign. So this is somebody that is very nurturing, that is very self-contained, financially stable, very practical as well. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is the sun, moon, or rising that you're dealing with. And you have a younger fire sign. Fire signs are Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. And this is, I feel like this fire sign is definitely somebody that is younger than you, okay? And I pulled out a clarifier card, and we have the Two of Swords. And you're basically, it doesn't show me anything else except that you're at an impasse. You don't even know which way to go. And the fact that the moon is showing up here, I feel like there is a fire sign that you have a very strong, possibly like a very strong emotional connection with. Whereas with the earth sign, there's a lot of stability, there's a lot of compatibility and stability, but there's a very strong emotional pull here. So you're straddling between the two and you're not really sure what you want to do. The earth sign might be somebody that is new. The fire sign might be someone you've known for a while. I don't know if you've dated them for a while or you've known them for a while, but I feel like the earth sign must have entered the picture like possibly, a few months ago. This seems to me like it's a new energy, even though it's a queen, it seems to me like it's new. Um, I'm also feeling as well is that there might be some geographical distance with this earth sign, mainly because I see the chariot, and the chariot usually indicates travel. And there are the two horses here, so that might indicate some type of a long distance type of liaison with this person. And there's also the fire sign, which is somebody that might reside. I don't feel like they're as far away as the other person. So you're traveling quite a bit. And let me just emphasize the fire sign is a sun, moon, or rising. I'm getting more sun, moon, or rising, or like the energy that they exhibit, okay? I'm not getting so much like just straight sun sign with these cards. So there's definitely some temptation. There's definitely, you're dealing with very, very different energies. And, sometimes just opposite attracts. But I feel like there's a very strong emotional pull with this fire sign. So on top of that, I do feel that when it comes to consistency, when it comes to like love and passion and, feeling wanted and needed, I feel that the fire sign is the one that you're getting a lot of communication from. Okay. So the Eight of Wands indicates like the arrows of love in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. And I feel like with this situation, it's the same way. This person might be sending out a lot of affectionate, text messages. You might be getting a lot of communication from this fire sign. So this is Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. And I do feel that because of it, it really boosts your ego. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel secure. Because sometimes in love relationships, Scorpios, you tend to be a little bit insecure too, but you will never admit it. So I feel like this person is really is really affectionate. They're just very open and, honest with their feelings. They wear their heart on their sleeves. What you see is what you get. So then you feel like it's stable, and you feel like you don't have to worry about, where you stand with them, because you always know, which is like the a great way to approach relationships anyways. So I feel like you might have this emotional pull to this fire sign, because they're nurturing, and they know how to, really stroke your ego. And I feel like because they're affectionate, because they're so open, you tend to be a little bit secretive. So you like it when someone is upfront and honest, because you don't want to have to play the guessing game, and you don't want other people to like be hiding things as well. So you're naturally suspicious, and I feel like it's a nice energy when you're dealing with someone who's so direct, because then you don't have to, constantly second guess. Okay, so there's a lot of communication coming through from a fire sign. What I'm also sensing as well is, for those of you who are in married, partnerships, I feel that there might be some mother-in-laws visiting, is what I'm feeling. They're traveling long distances, mother-in-laws, or like traveling to see your mom, even your mom, your grandma, somebody that you consider, excuse me, a mother figure. So there might be somebody that is asking you whether or not you're going to go see them, or you're making plans to go see your mother, your own mother. Okay. So this is somebody like that can give you very good advice as well. So I feel almost like, okay, if you're stuck in a situation where you're like trying to decide between two people, asking your mother for advice, I feel, is a really good thing to do this month. Okay, especially for those of you males watching, or if you are a Scorpio dating women, it's really important to ask your mom. Mother knows best. Okay, but I feel like for this month, one of the advice I'm feeling is that you have some very, very strong you have a very strong maternal influence circulating around you, and they are looking, it's like they're in a position to guide you. You have a very strong mother figure watching over you, and I feel like your mother is full of wisdom. So, coming to your mother, your grandmother, whoever that raised you, I feel that would be really important for you to rely on them for either. I feel like it's sort of like your spirit guides speaking through them to relay some important messages for you, because you're so busy and you're not getting enough sleep, so they can't even come to you in your sleep state. Okay, but sometimes hearing it through like an earthly channel would be better for us. Okay, so it's like confirmation that you need. Your spirit guides are trying to access you, but you're just like swamped all the time, and you're exhausted when you're at sleep. So even if you do dreams and they give you messages, you won't remember it when you wake up, because you're just like so tired. So sleep deprivation is a major problem I see coming through for this month. So be very careful about that. Okay. Don't drink too much caffeine. I feel like it's really going to mess up your sleep schedule. And I definitely see traveling across different time zones. Okay, across different time zones coming through. Now let's look at your advice cards. So we have a situation where you're definitely, I feel like you're dividing your time between two people. Okay, and just be careful about this situation. I feel like I feel almost like you're scattering your energy, and you're getting a lot of suitors, especially for those of you who are single and out dating. You're basically inundated with a lot of suitors. And what you do is up to you, but I definitely feel that you're exhausting yourself. Okay. Um, there will be people that will ask about your previous state of affairs, and it's really important for you to defend yourself. But, for example, I feel like there are people that will be in your business, that will pry, that will ask questions. And the point here is that, for example, if you are dating two people, and someone is like, oh, I saw you with such and such, you have to explain yourself. Don't defend yourself in that man. Like if you're caught, just don't talk your way out of it. Just admit it, okay? Because I feel like that's what's happening here. Some people are just not going to be tolerant of it. And if you're like giving them, like a lie, they're going to know. And I feel like a lot of you have really good candidates coming through. But like I said, you want to just, look for the value in people, okay? And aim for the ones that add value to your life rather than scattering your energy far and wide, okay? The other thing that I am sensing here is for a lot of you, there is an air sign in your midst. So this is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And I feel like there is a situation here where somebody is handing money to somebody else, is offering financial assistance, is offering advice, is offering help. So it could be you to them or them to you. But what I'm feeling is the energy between the two of you is very jarring. So this is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, male or female. I'm feeling like this is not a female here. It's gender neutral. But what I'm feeling is there's a lot of like reciprocity in terms of help, assistance coming through from both sides. But I definitely feel the communication between the two of you is not like the best. So be patient with this person. Just know that they're not trying to do anything to hurt you. It's just you're a water sign. You're very emotionally in tune and you're very intuitive. This person is an air sign, so they need all the details and all the, all the information before they can act. Okay, so they might ask a lot of questions, and you're secretive, and I feel like that's where the trouble is, because I feel like they just naturally ask a lot of questions and you're naturally quite secretive. So you feel like they're like I guess invading your privacy, but I don't feel that's the case. So make sure that you know what you're doing before you jump head first or engage with this air sign. I feel that you want to, they've got a sword and you've got a wand, and between the two of you, I don't feel it ending too well for you because they're sharp. So just make sure you know what you're doing before you engage with this person, okay? If you are romantically involved with them, I want you to just be careful if they are asking you questions. They obviously already know the answer because they're quite strategic. So I'm going to leave it at that. And let's just go into your love reading. But overall, really, really good month. Just don't succumb to temptation if you are already in a relationship and you're thinking about stepping out of it. I feel for a lot of you, there's already somebody that you have your eyes on, single or coupled. Um, just be careful about that, okay? So let's see what's in store for you for love, Scorpios. I was just getting this. I feel like a lot of you are involved with a Capricorn. A lot of you are somehow involved with a Capricorn. It keeps coming up. Okay, so I mentioned this for the Aquarius reading. I started doing like non-reversals with this deck, but then I accidentally did reversals last month. So I'm just going to stick with the reversal because I feel that it gives me a better read. Okay, so let's see what's in store for you for love. On with Scorpios for love for teen. So we have the Seven of Swords again, Seven of Wands again. This is a card about defense. Letting our guard down is one interpretation of it when it's in the reverse position. Okay, so this is interesting. I just want to point out the differences. Give me a second. This is quite interesting. Okay, so let me just talk about something that I just picked up. Okay, so we have these two cards earlier, the Seven of Wands and the Queen of Swords, okay? So both of these people are like in conflict and no one is relenting, okay? So you're fired up, they're fired up, okay? And both people are wielding weapons. So I guess in the love front, what you want to do is this. We have the same cards. It's the Seven of Wands and the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So if you want the other person to let their guard down, you yourself are going to have to let your guard down. So that means, revealing information if you're being asked, because I feel like they're not inquisitive, they're not nosy. They're just they need some information to make a decision. And I feel that is really important for you to have a talk with this person. So I feel like, if one person let their guard down, the other person would let their guard down. Once again, that mirroring effect that I was picking up for the mid-month of May it's coming in as well. There is an important discussion. Both of you need to, really approach it as adults and be very, very um, open and honest with one another. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to point out. So let's talk about this situation. For a lot of you, it seems to me like there is an air sign in your life, okay? And it seems to me like this is somebody that brings you a lot of emotional happiness and satisfaction. We have the Sun card. This is a card about success, feeling this childlike energy. Somebody is like really sparking your passion. I feel like for a lot of you, it might be an air sign. So the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And once again, I am reminded of the message that in the past, there might have been really difficult communication between the two of you. And I feel that the energy, like in the past, you might have thought like, oh, everything was all their fault, or, why are they so difficult to deal with? But I feel like there's a lot of epiphanies and realization coming through for this month, where you are starting to realize that, okay, it takes two to tangle, so maybe I need to draw back energy when I'm dealing with this person. So both parties do really need to put their guard down in order to have like any type of a communication flow, and in order to have any type of a meaningful contact with one another. Okay. For those of you who are dealing with like an ex partner, so this is like, I feel somebody you were linked up with, via marriage. So whoever, whatever that sign might be, you were linked up with marriage. I feel like, I feel almost like you're making a lot of money, and I feel that they are coming through because they want, there's like some control issues here when it comes to money. Okay, I feel like there are some exes as well that are coming back, because we have here the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is usually a situation that we thought was dead, gone, over with. They magically come back because they are divinely like ordained to be on your path. Okay, so there is a situation you thought was gone and dead, is never coming back, is making a comeback, and it's bringing with it a lot of karma and a lot of problems, and you are going to have to sift through it. So however you've been dealing with that situation in the past, I feel like you're going to have to take a different approach. So that's what I mean by, you can either choose to ignore it, like don't engage in conflict, or find a different way to solve this problem, or to, have a different way to communicate with this other person. I feel for a lot of you, there is somebody, or there is somebody coming, making a comeback. This person is quite controlling. It's very, very quite controlling. Um, so just be careful about that, okay? It's something you thought was done and over with, but it's coming back in. And I feel that one of the ways in which you can help yourself in this situation is, I mentioned earlier with the general reading that you have a lot of really powerful energy, and the powerful energy via the magician. And so I feel that you want to do the right thing, okay? Aim for the right thing. Don't aim for, winning an argument just, to boost your ego. Aim for the right thing. Aim to do what is right, morally right, or what's right for both parties, not just, just to win a battle. So I feel like that is something coming through, but I do sense you are dealing with somebody who's quite controlling. Um, what I'm also sensing is, for a lot of you too, there might be issues, especially if you are in a coupled, or you have children with somebody. There are issues regarding like child rearing, and I feel like one person wants to raise a kid this way, and one person wants to like do something else with the kids. So I feel like some issues regarding children, because we have the Empress here, and the Empress in the reverse usually indicates to me like a little bit of neglect when it comes to children. Okay, like somebody who's very lax when it comes to child rearing, discipline, and things like that. So that might be a problem, like a issue of contention coming between you and another person, because I feel like some quarrels and disputes and things like that coming through. I definitely feel as well one parent is a lot more lax than the other. What I'm also feeling for a lot of you is, I mentioned there is a fire sign, Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. So I'm getting the fire sign with all the wands energy. There is somebody that you have a very strong emotional connection with. but I feel like you're not very compatible. You're not very compatible, but you have this strong emotional pull towards them. You might like finish each other's sentences. You might like there's attraction, I feel. And I feel like you're conflicted. You're quite conflicted. So there is a fire sign here, somebody that is quite established as well. So you're conflicted. And there's also an air sign in the mix where you've had very problematic communication. So I feel like the main theme here is that it seems like, and I'm really not picking on you, Scorpios. Um, I feel like you're having trouble with the fire sign, like, compatibility, understanding, mutual understanding. And then it seems like you're also having trouble with an air sign. And both of these signs are very, like, cut to the chase, are very, like, what you see is what you get. So the problem here might be just because, Scorpios innately, you're a little bit secretive. So I feel that it would be in your best interest to just, reveal a little bit more of yourself this month, reveal your motives, reveal your feelings, and, lay it all out on the table. That's gonna, it will lift these communication problems. It will get rid of these issues, okay? So that's my suggestion, because I feel like the people around you, they're just very matter of fact, but um you might keep yourself hidden. You might keep your motives hidden. You might be very curt or very like um what is the word for that? You might just not be very revealing of of your feelings, of everything that's going on. So you might just be very short with your communication. So it would be best for you to try to flush this out. But I do feel a lot of conflict. If you let it escalate to conflict, it will escalate to conflict. So let your guard down. The other side will let their guard down, okay? I feel a lot of energies, like a really, really dynamic month. All these wands card, all these sword cards, they indicate to me like a lot of verbal exchange between you and another person, possibly going on like speed dating or meeting a lot of people. And you have to shift the way you communicate. So like with one sign, you might have to over explain. With the other sign, you might have to like be more jovial, be more like fun and flirtatious. Whereas with the other sign, you have to be more philosophical. So you're doing this balancing act and oscillating between, fun and excitement, and then, more serious communication. So that's what you're juggling with. But I definitely feel a lot of people are interested in you, and they're trying to, like they're stumbling over themselves to get to you. I definitely feel a person from the past coming back here with the Ten of Swords. This is potentially a conflict laden type of a interaction between you and another person. And I feel like for a lot of you, exes are coming back, okay? Exes that you do not want to get involved with, they're coming back. And I feel like it's a harsh energy. I feel like jealousy from your exes, and it's preventing you from moving on with your life, okay? Um, I also feel for a lot of you, this is a missed opportunity, like a missed, one of those things where you meet somebody and things never got off the ground, and then they just disappear, and you thought they're gone forever, and you have a second chance here. So this is like a do-over. It's like a reset button, and it looks to me to be very good. However, on the other end of it is a very difficult situation, dead and over with, but the exes are still interfering. Okay. Um, what I'm also feeling as well is, especially if you have an ex that is a water sign, I'm sorry, not a water sign, that is an air sign. If you have an ex that you were in a long rooted relationship with and the relationship is over, don't get back with that air sign. Okay. So this is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. If you had an ex that is an air sign that was a long standing, like difficult relationship, there's in every relationship, there's a lot of love, but there's a lot of difficulties as well. If that situation has ended, don't go back to it, because I feel that you're being blocked from it. You're being blocked from going back to it because it's not on your karmic path, okay? Whenever the emperor shows up, it indicates to me some type of a divine intervention or some type of a blockage that is not good for you, mainly because it's not meant on your path anymore. And by engaging in it, you're basically wasting your time, you're dissipating your energy, and it's not going to lead anywhere, and it's going to bring a lot of frustration. It's going to bring a lot of like disappointments, and it can't come back together because you have here a karmic block. Okay, so if you have been involved with an air sign, like you were like married, living together, in a relationship with like, 5, 10, 7 years, I don't feel that you can go back to that. Okay, if it's a new person, that's fine, but if it's an old person, there's very strong karmic block, and I wouldn't go there because you're wasting a lot of your time, and it's not going to pan out. You're going to realize quickly that the same pattern starts to emerge. So for example, you've broken up and you get back together for like within 3 days, you're going to start to see the same old patterns emerging, and it's because that person is no longer on your karmic path. Okay, so Scorpios, a little bit of a heavy reading, but I do feel you want to keep yourself, honestly, just fix your eyes on people that are worth it. Okay, I feel like a lot of temptations are coming through, and I keep reverting back to the yearly reading. All that glitter is not gold. So you want to really, think about who has been there for you, who has contributed value to your life, who you trust, and who you have a very strong emotional connection with. Because I feel like go with your heart, aim for that emotional connection, aim for that one person that really understands you. That's going to guide you towards the right person, and that's going to lead you on a good path. Excitement, fun, sexual chemistry, all of those things are good, and they can enhance a relationship. They can enhance a relationship, but they cannot make a relationship. That emotional connection needs to be there first for everybody, but mainly because you're a water sign. So I'm just going to emphasize and stress that, okay? You need that. Otherwise, you're not going to be fulfilled. So you're going to find yourself jumping around if you're looking for that emotional high, if you're looking for, that glittery person where there's a lot of chemistry, there's a lot of excitement, but there's very little emotional connection. So keep that in mind, all right? I wish you all the best. If you like a private reading, please visit the website. The information is in the description box below. At this point, I'm usually booked like a month out in advance. So if you don't mind the wait, just visit the website, book an appointment, all right? So I wish you all the best. Take care of yourself. Don't get distracted. Don't be sidelined by temptations, okay? Scorpio, keep an eye out, all right? Take care of yourself. Bye bye.